Well, hello everybody, Nick McGinnis here with Meadow Green Farm. Today we're doing a video to look at our hair sheep flock. So for those who might not be familiar, when I say hair sheep, I mean these are a breed of sheep that don't produce any wool. Their main purpose, their main design is to produce meat. And what we're developing on the farm are grass genetic sheep. Here's an example of one of our rams. He's 1.5 years old, probably about 140 pounds, solid muscle. He's never tasted a bit of grain in his life. And these are a mixture of horned Wiltshires. That's what we started with. And then we had some white Dorpers. And you can see there's 2 ewes here that are half white Dorper, half Wiltshire, and they're the ones without the horns. They're a little bigger breed of sheep. And because they're half Wiltshire, they have that parasite resistance. So that's one of the key things we're looking for in this flock, is parasite resistance, the ability to withstand all sorts of weather outside. Our intention is not to keep these sheep inside at all. We don't want to have them in the barn at all. And we're living in Nova Scotia, so we experience some pretty rugged and cold and blustery winters here. So far we've been able to limit them to 2 months a year with access to the barn. Though they'll typically spend most days outside, they do have access to the barn. And that's more of a product of our management than just a little bit lack of facilities. So that's a quick look at the sheep. We're going to talk about why we're choosing grass genetics in a moment. So one of the main reasons that we've decided to go this route with our sheep, as opposed to what I would call a conventional sheep operation where you're raising wool producing breeds or dual purpose breeds. These are breeds that produce wool and meat. These breeds are generally larger, grow a little quicker, but they also have really low, generally speaking, parasite resistance. So these are animals that are going to require sometimes quarterly deworming, and they're going to need a lot more care. And also they need other things because they produce wool. Their genetics are hardwired that way. Things such as their hooves, which hooves are very much just like your fingernails, basically a type of a hair. Because these animals are bred to produce wool, their hooves actually grow quite rapidly. So there's another management input that's required to manage these sheep. It's trimming the hooves maybe once a year. So you have to trim the hooves, you have to shear the wool, and as far as I've been told, there really is no profitable market for wool right now. So you're adding a lot of management inputs into your operation, and for us, that would mean bringing the sheep into the barn, putting them through the chute, having a shearer come out and do them. It may require having a veterinarian come out and administer shots. We're trying to get away from all of that, so we've decided to go with the hair sheep. One of the things that I've found is, in our area, we're in Nova Scotia, is really good grass genetics, even if you choose breeds that are known to be favorable for grass-fed operations. Even if you choose those breeds, the genetics, in my opinion, still have a little ways to go. So we started with 20 ewe lambs. I gave each of them a breeding season, and if they produced a lamb that was small, they had trouble lambing, any issues, if that particular ewe needed to be dewormed, all of these factors would lead us to cull that particular animal from the flock. So we started with 20. We're down to 4 of our original ewes, and we have 2 ewe lambs from this year. So it's a real big reduction in size, but in order to get strong genetics, those are the types of examples of management that you need. And here's a ram lamb, this little guy here. He was born this spring from an inferior ewe. This is her 2nd year in a row producing a small lamb. And you can see next to him is another ram from the year before, almost twice the size. So those are the kind of genetics that we want. And I think that's a good introduction to the sheep. I'm going to do a few more videos on them in the next couple weeks. I've got a baby and a chest-mounted carrier with me right now, and I think she needs to go in and have a little drink of milk. So thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please hit the like button, and please feel free to subscribe to get more videos on sustainable land management, farming, and forestry. Thank you.